against one of the women that were in my comments. Evidently, I think my camera only goes for a high 30, so this should be the beginning of part two. And I'm going to keep it short. I'm gonna wrap this up. So yeah, these ladies in my comments. I'm going to read this one comment that just, well, I guess I may get a couple of them. Read a couple of them. This one lady came in, and her name is Kim, and if you notice from the first video, there was when I spoke to the very kind um, woman that was clearly from her voice, and she did not sound like she was black. She sounded like a well established white lady. But she was very considerate and very helpful actually. So she had informed me about this lady that was in the this was from when I called the councilwoman, what's her name, Gina Bivens. I called her office, and this woman directed me to her, directed me to the police oversight monitor, because I wasn't, I'm just a concerned citizen. I'm not, I don't want to see nobody die, you know. Not nobody that unnecessarily doesn't need to die, that hasn't done anything that would warrant their death. So I'm just going to try to read this. I'm going to read this, since this has to be a two-part video, I might as well just go ahead on and put it down. Read what she said here. She said to me in the comments of the video where I said Charles White announces that he has threats. He's receiving threats to his life. And you can go back and read these because I'm not going to read them all. I just want to just focus on the terms, how this woman came at me. She said to me, now mind you, I'm going to say this again. I didn't say with certainty that nobody did anything. I was trying to be as careful as possible by saying alleged. So let me go here. Your credibility is in question for even repeating this. I have my own quarrels with Fort Worth, the police department, but I haven't heard any threats from anyone but Charleston White. He goes back and forth from talking about shooting people and killing cops to talking about being afraid. Now, anybody who's listened to Charleston White any more than 3 or 4 weeks prior to where he started talking like this, Charleston White has always said that, that he works with the police. He does training. He stated he has done training for sex trafficking, which is kind of what this whole situation is supposed to be tied behind, the fact that he tried to help an alleged sex trafficking victim. So she says to me that my credibility is in question for repeating what I heard allegations. And in my repeating of the allegations was only merely to find out whether there could be an investigation for him. He goes back and forth talking about shooting people and killing cops. Now, also, if you pay attention to Mr. White, and I'll say you may have to go, but really you can catch it within a month or 2 months or whatever. You'll notice that for the most part, anybody that Charleston White goes in on with vigor and viciousness, they generally have came toward him and said something to him or done something to him first. What this person is doing with this line is trying to create a narrative. What she's trying to present here is that Charleston White just comes off with some hothead that just immediately just gets on the internet and talks about killing cops and shooting people and this, that, and the third, as if she somehow missed all the many times that you could easily search the internet and find where Charleston White has been threatened. by just random gang members. And even when he was in this Facebook, even before the big YouTube days on this Facebook, he was having to go back and forth with the gang members in this local area. But yeah, he is the aggressor. Charleston White don't bother nobody. Charleston White just be out here, just be out there. Either if he's not on camera, you know, if you Google his name, you'll see that he's helping folks or helping kids, something like that, or doing this random stuff around the community, or trying to speak for the people in regards to interacting with the government. So, once again, this is a narrative that's being shaped here, and it's a very dangerous narrative because what she did underneath my video, where I was just merely asking for an investigation, I didn't say that with certainty that anybody had done anything to anyone. He is the aggressor. He is manipulating every one of you to lend an ear to his hate and ignorance. There's another one of those catchwords, one of those coin words, one of those trigger words. Hate. Like as if, we're somehow cult members. Now, I'll be the first to say that Mr. White is like, Charles White, like one of my favorite internet people. Because for one thing, what Mr. White came in the game doing as far as the YouTube thing, he showed us how he get the money on YouTube. He showed us what we need to do in order to set ourselves up to get the money on the YouTube. Now, he's also showed how others use his name to get their money up on the YouTube. My thing about it is I don't put his name I don't put his name in my titles and try to go at him to get him to say my name. We go back and forth and get clicks and views off animosity. Like I said, I have an affinity for the man. I have respect for the man for what I've seen in his works. He like you said, he don't show and tell, he shows and proves. But let me continue with this person here. He is trying to manipulate a situation, trying to act like he is an innocent person and setting the stage to do something under the guise of him being afraid. Let me read that again one more time. He is manipulating every one of you who lend an ear to his hate and ignorance. He is trying to manipulate a situation, trying to act like he is an innocent person and setting the stage to do something under the guise of him being afraid. Now, a question that you would ask, why should Mr. White be afraid? Why should he have to pretend to be afraid? And if he is either afraid or professing to be afraid, what was the first thing that he asked? He asked what I asked, for an investigation. Now, I sincerely, this person that's on here is her title name is Kim. It's possible. I sincerely, and I mean this, and I'm alleging that this is the Kim Neal in the police oversight monitor that the kind white lady from Miss Gina Bivens' office had told me to call, because she as you'll hear me continue. I'm gonna try to get all this in here. Hold on. After an innocent person setting the stage to do something under the guise of being afraid, he is a shit starter, hate brewer, and a manipulator. Nothing about community advocate. Nothing about he works in what's the word he says, a youth legal, he works on with juvenile offenders in order to try to get the court to understand the situations and the backgrounds those youth have to go through. and what might have brought them into the position in which they had to commit the crime, in which they committed the crime in which they committed. But he's a shit starter. He's just a shit starter. Now, like I said before, uh, for what I've seen for the most part, Mr. White, he comes and he talks his shit, but he don't necessarily fuck with nobody unless they fuck with him. But I want to know, when she says shit starter, the only shit I've seen him start is like when he going off on about the things that are not being done for the nigger babies in the village, or when he's going off on the irresponsible fathers that that rather hang on the corner and sit on somebody else's porch, claiming gangs and trying to be top dog stud, you know, things that are non-constructive toward the building of strong building of young children to create strong men and women. So let me continue. She said he's a manipulator and a shit starter. Now, if someone is fearing for their life, and it seems as if you go to the people that should be trying to do some protecting for you. I'll use and it's an old term. I'll use a quote that he uses. He says that in situations of trouble, of desperate trouble, in fearful occurrences, a drowning man that reached for a broom straw. Now he spent all this time. Now at this point, it looks at this point all the time. He says that he's been to the police station and try to contact the people, and trying to get the investigation started, but evidently to no avail. So what he does is what if you were smart, if you could use big words and you had some type of interpretive intellect to discern logic between the bullshit. Some of those videos, and I imagine these are the ones she's referring to, the threatening the police and the hurt people, this, that, and the third. This is what you call this is what I viewed as a desperation plea. Y'all got to do something. I'm not just going to sit up here and let y'all kill me without, then y'all know that it's gonna, even if I'm not certain, I'm gonna put out a bluff. There's some shit gonna happen if something happened to me. Now, I can't speak on the dedication and the devotion that anybody else might have toward Mr. White, and how he may have touched their lives. All I can say, like I said before. I was just impressed by the fact that he stood strong. He stood on his 10 toes, and what about fearlessly slaying some of the biggest dragons? One of the biggest dragons I've seen. The 50-year reign of gangs in the inner city neighborhoods. Who have you ever seen get on there talking about BKCK, Crip killer, blood killer, bloody crippin', send them to jail or send them to hell? Niggas is scared. Niggas is too scared to do that. And this is something else that kind of killed me with the women that came to me. They came in my comments talking about, you really need to be careful. You saying about this, that, and the third. All I'm doing is asking for them people to investigate. I'm not saying I'm gonna come down there and do nothing. I just said I don't want to see the man hurt. I don't want to see the man die. That would hurt me. I ain't gonna lie. Cause what it will show me is that damn a black man really can't stand on his own 2 feet and stand his convictions for nothing. And then for these women to be in my comment section talking about he hasn't done anything in the Fort Worth community. He only talks about it and blames everyone else for the reason he can't get things done. Now now when you listen to that, he only He said he only talks about it and blames everyone else for the reason he can't get things done. The reason he can't get things done. In a whole damn city, a whole community, he has to be the one to get things done. He can't expect no help. But he don't do nothing. All he does is run around threatening people. He crazy. He's a lunatic. And that's pretty much what she said. What she said here? He does have receipts. He has no receipts for anything he has done in the name of community advocacy. Now I wonder if this individual would say that to Mr. White, and test his receipts on that, because it must be some pretty dramatic type of directing and things of that nature. Because what I've seen and what I've witnessed is that he does a lot. Just in front of my face, just between the barbecues, the wood chopping, and trying to getting together the little lot where the boys can learn how to fix cars and things like that. That's something. That's teaching them little boys how to fish. That way they ain't got to worry about going to the white guy or the Arab guy or whoever else might be so-called mechanic or whatever, and had a Mexican guy to fix their car or whatever. They'll have the skills to do that. And also, things like fixing how, he was trying to work on, what do you say, the hydroponic gardening and things like that. These are brilliant ideas that pretty much could be spread throughout the country. Just like, once again, he has a program that he says that is being utilized all over the country. The man went and worked on the law to get life sentences for youth abolished, but he does nothing for the community. This person here, and this is just our first comment. It really got very worse as it went on. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm at 17:30, and I guess it's gonna be a good round hour. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just go ahead on and just read here. Read here through here. If I can read as much, I'm just gonna read my exchange with her. So I responded to her. How is my credibility in question when I haven't made any direct accusations against anyone? The only thing I've asked is what he asked for, and that is an investigation. Am I to believe that he would do all this in front of the world for what? Wouldn't it be some sort of felonious act? It would. It would be a felonious act to accuse the officer and then try to call for investigation, about it. It would. I don't know if it'll reach the grounds of felony, but I know that there's a crime in behind that. Felonious act to make these type of accusations toward an officer, and to further fraudulently request the utilization of government resources to investigate the same false accusations he made. Well, what you appear to be doing is the same thing he said, appearing to paint him as a lunatic running around crazy. Who are you? Are you the Kim Neal of the Police Oversight Monitor Department? How are you related to Officer Carter and Mr. McHenry? Now, pay attention to these questions I asked her more than once, and she didn't answer them, none of them. Are you against an internal and or external investigation into the accusations Charleston White has made? And if so, why are you against it? You seem to have a lot of slanderous accusations of Mr. White yourself. Who are you to believe? Who are you for me to believe over him? If you wanted to prove that Mr. White is everything you say he is, wouldn't it make sense for you to push for the investigation to absolve the accused Officer Carter and the accused Mr. McHenry? What you think you're doing here is not working from my perspective, and if you have your own course with the Fort Worth Police Department, logically, to me, it would make the most sense for you to push for the investigation at the most, or go somewhere and sit down and be quiet while those involved sort it out. Our objective should be to not see anyone harmed. Mr. White has made has made videos daily being more than transparent, and I can't reasonably justify him risking his personal and professional relationships just for a theatrical performance, considering we know that this is not the first time he has addressed concerns not only the city government official Mr. Carter or the regular citizen Mr. Henry against this Carter or Henry. I certainly hope you've watched the earlier videos, and by early I don't mean earlier this month. I mean earlier like years ago before. Why not push for an investigation with credible investigators, since you're an authority of credibility of people and people you don't know? You should respect that. I haven't made any definite assertion of guilt or impropriety towards anyone, like it appears you are doing to Mr. White here. We don't want to see anyone innocent harmed or killed when due diligence would have prevented it. Thanks for commenting. Peace and blessings to you. So then she comes back, say less. I have watched more than a few of his videos for several years. I have watched his videos on YouTube. But what I have also done is watch videos about him and have objectively considered all sides. I wouldn't speak on it had I not. You seem to be the one speaking out of turn on the credibility of someone you can't verify. Now, once again, all I've asked for is for, the same thing Mr. White asked for, and that's an investigation into the matter. And now, if there's no grounds in the investigation, then there should be no harm, no foul. It will place Mr. White at ease, and it would also, remove any dark cloud from Officer Carter and also Mr. McHenry. Now, I responded. I asked you several questions, but most important one is this: do you support an internal or an external investigation of the accusation that Charleston White made toward Tracy Carter and citizen Mr. McHenry? Because I don't need to prove my credibility on anything in this instance. I'm an observer watching a citizen. Because it doesn't matter if it's Charleston White, you, or any other Fort Worth citizen. Remember what I said, that was in person. Because it doesn't matter if it was you, Mr. White, or any other Fort Worth citizen. I'm watching a citizen plead for help from his government officials while that citizen believes his life is in an imminent peril. You can spew all types of deflective ad hominem you like, but until you get past those key components, all you're doing is deflecting and arguably protecting alleged criminals. And then she replied, you're writing a lot of big words to appear intelligent, but aren't quite capable of speaking in the same manner. What do you guys think? You think I'm able to speak the words that I spent? I'm a word collector. I love words. I'm an etymologist. Look it up. But I'm quite speaking in the same manner. I haven't deflected in any way. You be the judge whether she deflected or not. I asked her specific questions, and she went in everywhere, and she still hasn't answered my questions. If you're able to make inferences from what you've read, you should be able to see that much of what you asked was addressed in my first comment. Lies. I haven't heard anything but third-person accusations of another person from Charleston, and you are repeating. Let me see what time. You are repeating the alleged threats. Yeah, I'm repeating the alleged threats. Yes, because I want an investigation, man. Yes, I am. None of this is based in fact. Now, ma'am, how do you know this? There's been no investigation. You call the officer corrupt based on Charleston's statement of that. That's the only evidence I have. An investigation might be able to prove whether the officer is corrupt or not. You think that an entertainer such as Charleston is entertaining? Oh my God, what a sentence! He is going for views, likes, and shares. Yeah, the internet, the YouTube shit. He's clearly stated that he's in it for the money. At the moment, he should be under investigation. Now, once again, I say that they ain't mentioned none of this shit on his YouTube channel. He should be under investigation. Now, she's saying that, you see the Jedi mind trick? She said he should be under investigation. I got 5 minutes. I got to hurry up. He made live threats to get people together to shoot police officers. Now, once again, that's a drowning man going to reach for a broom straw. Now, if ain't nobody going to protect me from one police officer who I'm calling corrupt, that would also that's at least the integrity and the moral compass of the rest of the police officers who are associated with that officer. And that, and once again, I can't say that for certain without an investigation. I'm not making any allegations toward them. All I'm doing is making an observation. You should think twice about putting your government main name on a shit starter. There you go. That one of them veiled threats. If you watch enough of this video, if you seen him come unhinged, spitting, hitting. He spit in the cup when he coughing up phlegm and hit what his middle console? Ma'am, come on now. He has put it on the show. Lunacy is easy to produce. The man said in his early video, they trying to paint me like I'm crazy. So they can kill me. Now this is why I think that if this person, I'm gonna have to let y'all go back and just read some of this. I hope I've gotten to the point where I said where y'all see where I'm going. But this pretty much pointed to what he said in the videos. You know, everything that he said that he expected would happen. It